I'm sorry.
Every time I open, I look like a prisoner. I'm naked for some reason. I don't know what
Naughty. Welcome, man. Welcome. Well, I said welcome to you. Welcome back, everyone. This is episode 20, man. 2020.
Bro, I was thinking like last minute. Obviously, if you haven't realised already, I've got a new stand.
Yeah, you've upgraded now, man. You got these new different headphones on as well.
I forgot they were on my head as well. Yeah, man. I'm going on up in the world, isn't it?
No little table with a little shitty arm hanging off the end of it.
Exactly that. I don't know if anyone's seen it in the last episode, but I felt like it was a lot worse. But when I watched it back, but basically, as I went to the toilet, came back and knocked the table over, and I was like, yeah, I need to sort that out for next time, man. Because I'm awkward, so me manoeuvring around tables and stuff is never going to end well, is it?
Yeah, mate, this suits you. You got a sandbag on the end. Welcome to the sandbag club.
I look 30 now. I look the part.
You're a proper podcaster now. Proper podcaster. But yeah, mate, episode 20. I was working out that equates to like 5 months of. I know, obviously, you came. I think it's 4 episodes in, but still, it's 5 months of work going into this, mate. It's good
already, bro.
5 months already. Like, it's gone quick.
Like, what are we gonna do when we start getting like further down the episodes? We're gonna do like once every 2 weeks or something. I don't know, because
I want to start hitting it 3 times a week, 3 times a day.
I'm gonna hit it more than I go to the gym, son. To be fair, which isn't very often.
I was thinking that someone was asking like, what, like, are you just always gonna do it for, like, you're just always gonna do a podcast now? And I was like, I never really thought about it, because some podcasts do like a series, so they'll do like 30 episodes in a series and have a break and then come back. And I was like, I don't know, I quite enjoyed having the output. Never.
What, you want to do that?
No. I'm just saying that when I've spoke to people, like, because it's just people who get intrigued, don't they? They just ask about it and they kind of go, what's your plan with it? And I was like, I have no idea. And I remember someone saying, well, like, who are you trying to, and I was like, I genuinely don't.
Who are you trying to what? Sorry, you didn't
like speak to, like, what are you doing a podcast for?
Oh, okay.
And I was just kind of like, I just need to empty my brain sometimes.
Literally, and you know, I was literally going to say something similar. Like, since we started doing a pod, so how long have we done it together? Probably about over 3 months then, I'm assuming.
Yeah, so well, you still would have been in with 5 months now. It's like 4 months.
Nice.
4 episodes a month.
Even me as a person, I feel like it's had a positive impact, because like the conversations I'm having with people outside of this that watch the content, and even the kind of conversations we have on here, and I'll like replay it back, and just kind of broadens my perspective on a lot of things within life.
Of course,
and
yeah.
Getting things off your chest, do you know what I mean? Like,
I was saying that earlier as well, like having guests on, obviously at like present moment it's a bit harder, but having guests on, it's good to get different perspectives, because I was saying like so Lloyd, or I probably would have had those conversations with Lloyd and Ash, like if it wasn't for the podcast, because it's I would never have been in an environment to have those conversations. So it's kind of cool to have this platform where you can, it kind of forces them conversations to happen. Because
and it's not even that, like what I kind of realised as well from people giving myself feedback, like, I never knew you thought like that. I never knew you speak like that. Like, just like friends, even family. And it's the same with that when we get a guest on, like day to day, because like Ash, like I said before, is a work friend. I have a lot of conversations where about deep stuff, and so on and so on. But when you put a microphone in front of them, it's different, because
of course, it's just a different environment as well. It's like once you hit rolling on the camera, you hit record on the mics, and you're just like, all right, we're going. It's a very different to just having an organic conversation. So
exactly.
But it's also like, I think the consistency of it, like that's something I've been proud of. Not going on about I'm proud. I wanted to, but like, because getting 20%, it's not easy to like every week come and do this. Do you know what I mean? Like, we've got lives. Like, there's been weeks where I haven't wanted to record. I'm sure there's been weeks where you haven't necessarily. Yeah, and it's like it's stressful. But to kind of remain consistent and make sure you drop in once a week and stick into your schedule, not fucking about, because that's a hard thing to do. I like, as we'll talk about, obviously big up Dale, because he obviously started this with me, but that was one thing he said. He said, I just can't do the consistency. I can't. He was like, I'm up for coming on, but I can't do the every week, which is, I completely understand. It's not easy to do.
And the thing I kind of found as well was similar. Like, there's several different scenarios. It's like gym, for example. You know, when like people are like, oh, I'm not feeling the gym today. Like, really, like once you get in there and you do it, you feel a lot better. And it's same with the podcast. Like, I've had days where like my head's just really not there. I've had a shit day. I might be feeling down. I'm like, bro, I'm really not. I would say to you, like, I'm not feeling it, but of course, once we get into it, I know I enjoy it. And after, like, you've kind of spoken about several things and whatnot, you feel positive.
Yeah, so. That's it. Like I said before we started this, I forgive my monotone voice. Like, again, everything's a bit crazy with lockdown and stuff, so everything's like, I don't necessarily know sometimes coming with energy. Today I feel a bit flat, but I'm sure by the like 10, 15 minutes in, I'll be back to normal. So I apologise for my monotone voice if that.
So I'm glad, yeah, because that fits nicely. I got something. I got you a little pick you up, yeah.
Do you know what you said as well when you come in? You come in with a bag. It was like rattling about. All I could hear is fucking like this. And I was like, what the fuck you got in the bag? He goes, oh, you got to fucking wait, mate. You got to fucking wait.
No, because now people are going to think it's like mad. So I'm not really a gimmicky person, but like I'm really spontaneous. I'm like proper like immature and do stupid. I like have a chicken wing top at home, and I was like, yeah, I'll just put the chicken wing top on because it's like episode 20. I love chicken wings, isn't it? And I just found it in my cupboard. I think it was like
why
gift
didn't
of
you
Christmas.
wear the chicken wing top?
Bro, like lockdown got me fucked up. Like I was like, yo, not happening.
Nah.
So I was going to get some chicken wings, funnily enough, before I came here. Like the thing is, I pretended to you because I work on Tuesdays in the office, despite everything going on at the minute. I was like to him, I'm running a bit behind. Oh, but I've left the mic stand at home, like pretending I was in work to save me a bit of time, so I can get my chicken wings, take my time.
Well, so you lied about getting the stand to get chicken wings.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You got to do these things sometimes. I'm going to get the chicken wings around the corner from here. And Boss Man, there's a new wine and food shop. Yeah, there's a new one there, and man stands on the corner and he's like to me, I'm not going to do the impression actually, cultural appropriation and all that. Yeah. He's like to me, oh, do you want to come in? We got a new shop, rah rah. And I'm just going next door. Just they've got like American like drinks. I was gonna get my chopper chops, you know. I get that part of it. Of course. Oh no, come in here, check these out. I'm really trying not to do the Apu thing. Forgive me, I'm sorry.
Apu thing.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's but
I think that's just as bad. Like.
I'm terrible. Forgive me, but why is that terrible?
Because you said I'm trying not to do the Apu thing.
You know, there's Boss Man shop in it. You know, when there's like. Because, like, for example, when he's like, oh, come in, see the selection, I'm trying not to lengthen out the words, you know?
No, I know what you're trying
to No.
Just carry on.
For example, an Essex girl, yeah? Or
no, just don't.
They were long... No. They lengthen out their words. It's the same kind of principle. That's all I'm trying to say. So anyway, oh, come check out my selection. Cool. I'm like, yeah, I'll support it. He's like, new shop, come in. Yeah, I'm coming in. And then he's like, oh, what do you want? I was like, I just wanted this American drink, really. And he's like, I've got 2 Red Bulls for you for £2 if you buy them now. I'm like... my guy. And then do you know what he said to me? What? I was oh god. He's like to me, I got 2 Magnums for you as well. You know what Magnums are?
Yeah, the little.
I was like, I look like a guy that drinks Magnums. I respect that. he was like, I give you 2. That's what he said. I give you 2 Magnums, £6. I was like, okay, so long and behold,
2 Magnums.
We got 2 Magnums.
Fucking 2. I think I've only.
I've never tried it.
It's that wine, isn't it?
Yeah. Tonic wine.
I love
so
that.
Get your mouth around the Maggies, mate. Get me a Maggie.
Tonic wine.
So we'll try.
You meant to sip this, ain't you? Like 16.5%. Alright, mate. Did you know it's rude? Only if you cheers. You got to cheers with alcoholic drinks, right? Yeah. This is a rule. So before you take a sip, you got to cheers. So yeah,
I'm like kind of concerned. It's in like.
Cheers, mate. And you've got to take a sip once you cheers. That's like the rules. That's nice.
It's alright, isn't it?
Why do you look like you're fucking taking a bite of a lemon?
Because it tastes like medicine. I was gonna say it looks like medicine bottle a little bit. It tastes a little bit like medicine. I'm not gonna lie. I'll drink it.
It's alright, man.
To respect
Boss Man did you a deal with these?
Boss Man, he was like 2 for £6, and I'm like, wait. So I've done 2 transactions. Yeah, I've got the 2 Red Bulls. I've got these now. And he's like, oh, check out the alcohol. I forgot you had all the alcohol as well. And then I see this as well. Let me show you this.
This was endless.
Bro, I've been talking to you about this, haven't I?
Oh, shit. That's the Charlie Sloth shit.
Yeah, right? I'm not getting any money for this, by the way, unfortunately. Yeah, but AU vodka.
Let me have a look at this bottle.
It looks mad. That's the grape flavour.
Yeah, this is the one that's actually coloured.
That's the one I wanted. Yeah, they're all coloured. Except from like the black one, which is like original. But there's like blueberry, rum punch. But that's the one I wanted. But yeah, I've looked online everywhere. And obviously you pay shipping. And morally, I would never pay for shipping on something because it's like, even if it's £2 shipping, I just can't pay it.
Yeah, mate.
So yeah, he had that, and then I was like, "Oh, you got AU vodka? Let me get a bottle of that, rah." And he's like, "It's £34. I give it to you 33." I was like, "My God."
Is this the shop? Because do you know,
yeah.
I went in there. This is like a dumb story. It weren't quite alcohol. That looks sick. Where I was looking for the orange buttons, the Tetley's chocolate orange buttons.
Yeah. Oh, you love that shit.
Nah, so I was looking for them because they were all sold out everywhere. Yeah. So I was going to every shop to try and find them. I was just like, I need to find these fucking chocolate buttons. So I went into there because I saw it open. And I said to him, I walked in, looked around, and he was like, it was like a sales pitch. So that's what I'm saying. The way you're talking about it is exactly what it was like.
It was like a Magaluf PR rep. He was like, come into the shop.
I was like, I'm looking for, I've been into like 10 shops. I'm looking for Cadbury, these Tetley's orange chocolate buttons. And he was like, no, but I've got Smarties. And I was like...
I got vodka.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't want Smarties. The Smarties sold in all the shop. Look for these. And he tried selling me some, like, just some random stuff. And I was like, nah.
The thing is, I had to justify myself. Because after I got the vodka, I was looking at other stuff as well. And he's all like to me, he was like, oh, I'm really sorry, you don't have to buy anything else. He thought he bullied me into buying stuff. And I'm like, he gave me like I think I got like a pack of chewing gum in there, like a big packet. He was like giving me stuff because he felt bad. I was like, you're not bullying me into it. And I had to give him like the backstory. But he was like, I've got another corner shop in London. And as soon as we got these in, like literally as soon as we got them in, someone bought them all for like £1,000, cleared them out. So he's like, I knew to bring him here, and I was like, my guy.
It's mad, yeah. I see loads of people. It is dope, like, obviously, because it's Charlie Sauce thing, and
it's just like the design, and it's colourful, and it like tastes better.
But I remember it was actually 50 Cent's got its own alcohol thing. Have you seen? I know it's a shambles, but he was saying there was some interview, and it was talking about like why his price point was what it was. Yeah, so he was saying that I matched like what the other thing was,
the market,
and then so I was like, okay, that makes sense. Like I understand that, but it's like if you actually look at what alcohol actually costs, it's such a like the fact all of these. But and I don't blame them for getting into the business because it's crazy. Like
we're suckers, yeah. So what's Jay-Z's champagne? Is it Ace of Spades?
Ace of Spades, yeah.
So the thing is, you can get that or Moe or whatever. Moe even costs though when you're in a club. Like for like the average guy like myself, like £100 for a bottle of champagne. I'm not going to randomly just buy that unless it's like. But how much that costs? The thing is, it tastes exactly the same, and it is exactly the same product.
Yeah.
You're just simply buying to look the part and whatnot. You're buying in something, which is the same with everything.
That is the same with everything. Like you can go if you go out for a meal. And you go for like the present, like some places don't wrong. The food is fucking great and it's brilliant, but a lot of places it's just you're going for the brand, you're going for the name. You hate it, don't you?
Syrupy, innit? I don't know if I like it or not.
It's kind of one of them I can sip it, but
it's like Guinness rum punch. I don't know if you've had it yet, but if you go into a Jamaican spot, like I love Caribbean food, but if you go into the right spot, they'll have it homemade in like plastic bottles. I think it's like Guinness. Apologies if I'm wrong. I think it's Guinness, milk, Malibu, and rum. But bro, when you have that initial sip when it's cold, you're like, "Oh, that's nice," and then you drink a bit more, and you're like,
"Yeah, it just
takes your soul a bit." This is similar.
A sip out of this.
I'll drink it. But
yeah, it's alright, man. But what's been happening, man? What's been going on this past week? Another week of lockdown. What's been?
Obviously, there's quite a lot going on in the news, man. As always, it's always a bit doom and gloom. There's not a lot of positivity at the minute, is there?
Yeah.
So.
But that's something I've like. Again, it's a knock-on effect. Like it's just, it's a bit. Nothing really. Fuck it. I say this every week, but nothing makes sense. Like I don't understand it.
Yeah, like we've gone over this. We've racked our brain. I think it's just we rack our brains with it. The thing at the minute is it got everyone talking to the vaccine, ain't it? So.
Do you know? I was thinking this earlier. I'm glad you mentioned that because I forgot. So they originally come out. The guys who did Viagra have got this vaccine now. Like that's what they're saying. Those are the people who like invented the Viagra.
I'm glad you told me that because if I get the vaccine now, as soon as I walk out there,
you guys carrying that pillow around you constantly.
Man.
But yeah, they so they come up with this obviously vaccine where it's like a big breakthrough.
Can I interrupt you? I'm really sorry.
Yeah, go for it.
But do you know why? Viagra was found? Give you a random fact. For the people then.
No.
So it was actually for they tested it on some whilst they were having heart surgery back in the day. And it didn't do nothing for the heart. However, obviously they got a boner. So that's how they discovered Viagra. True story.
Fresh hot off the press.
Yeah,
hot off the press. Ah, fucking hell.
Imagine
that. But,
yeah, sorry, go on.
But yeah, so they had this thing where it's like 90% like protection against COVID. Everyone's like, fucking hell. Not only that, it's going to be here by
90,
Christmas.
95, 85. I'm hearing all kinds of different
so it was
things.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. So that was the initial one. So it was like, great. And it was like, and we're getting it by Christmas.
Yeah.
We're fucking doing it. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm not going to get it, but fair enough.
Yeah,
that's good for the people who are vulnerable and need it. And then like a few days later or a week later, it's now... Well, now there's another a rival company has now got one which is 95%, and it's like, have we got the wrong vaccine? And I was thinking, and I know this isn't the first time I thought this, but surely that alone says that this is all like a business. Like it isn't like at the moment it's that we all need to stick together to get through this. We need to not go outside. We need to, and we're all being like told, all right, cool. You can't see your family. You can't go socialise. You can't go to pubs. You can't do this. And I agree with that. Fair enough. That's gonna keep everyone safe. But while we're doing that, you've got rival companies trying to profit off of. It's not working together, is it?
And the amount of money they're going to make from that.
Yeah, so it's like, so do you know what I mean? So it's like, why are the rival companies not working together? Because the only way that company could have got 95% versus that other company's 90% is that they know something the other company doesn't. Now, why would that's where I'm like, it's messed up, because that's pretty much saying you're going to pay us more money or we're not going to tell you. Even though, do you know what I mean? I understand it's a business, but it's a bit fucked.
For me, one thing that randomly got me thinking, now I'm not gonna take us down the rabbit hole and get into it, because it's a whole nother topic. It's not something particularly it's even a topic to even talk about, because of what it is. But how quick they found this vaccine? You think of things like cancer and stuff. Like, how can they so quickly? Because no doubt it benefits them financially. Don't get me wrong; it probably benefit them that they found that. But
I think it's different.
It just got me questioning. It got me questioning stuff like that. Yeah, when you say that it's a virus, but I just think if you can quickly put together people that can find a cure for that quick, that's what me thinking.
You're right though. When you say about the rabbit hole, you can go down next. It's like I hear loads of people. I don't know enough about it, but people say that the whole thing with cancer could be cured, but it's more profitable.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I wouldn't even want to touch on it.
Yeah, it's too deep. It's too deep for today. But yeah, I don't know, man. I've just find this. It's just weird times, and I thought this lockdown, it wasn't quite as strict. Like it's like, all right,
it is, but people are like, we kind of know it for what it is now.
No, but it's not as strict though, is it? Because it's almost like, all right, work from home if you can. If you can't work from home, go to work. And so there's the only things that are kind of specifically shut are like the things that are fun. So anything fun has to close.
Or healthy gyms.
Yeah, fun or healthy. Nah, you close. And then, but like I see this post where like outside a Taco Bell, everyone's like cramming outside, and it's almost like it's like literally like sardines outside.
I've been there, bro. The food ain't even all that either.
Yeah, it's mad. But I just but yeah, it's just very weird. And the problem is I always have this conversation with people when people bring stuff up, and I always say if there's nothing if you can't physically change it, or you can't like have an impact on it, then there's no point of dwelling on it. Just deal with what it is and crack on. But and I've always lived by that, no matter what. With this, it's like I don't know. I know I'm not alone. It's just very consuming, man.
You know me enough to know how my brain works, innit? So to me, it's not really a big deal. But I'm kind of like, oh, fuck off. Like that's just my opinion on it. But when I keep on, and I understand it, by the way. Let me explain both parts. So there's businesses that aren't closing, and they're like, nah, fuck you. You see them all over Instagram, social media. Please turn it up at. And there's that one guy in particular, like in a tattoo shop. I don't know if you've seen him.
Yeah, and he's like, he's common law.
Yeah, common law legislations and whatnot, rah. And like, I don't really deep it. I'm like, if he knows his shit, like fair play. Like I have no issue with that whatsoever. But then when himself and like loads of other people all over social media are like, Corona's fake. Like, you're fucking stupid. You're stupid. I'm sorry.
I get annoyed when people say Corona. Like, as you know, my dad's but so people don't
I know people that have had it as well. It's like, bro, like it just baffles me, and I think there's conspiracy theories and there's common sense in there. Like,
but this is where I think it's difficult though, and I do understand. And the thing is, so that guy, I'm not saying he dealt with it the best, or I don't know. Like he seemed like he conducted himself. He seemed like he knew what he was talking about. Exactly. So from someone who isn't that knowledgeable on it, it seemed like he was saying the right things, but. And if he's not getting the relevant support from like the government, then I understand him being like, well, I'm not fucking closing because I need to feed my family.
Exactly.
I get that.
Exactly. That's what I agree with.
I agree with all that, and I understand that. I'm not blaming him, but I think there is the other side of it where we all hold a responsibility to look after one another, and I feel like it's. I'm not even saying it's about him. I just think in general, like when you go, no, fuck it, I'm staying open.
You're doing it for the right reasons.
Yeah, like, I understand you got to earn your money, but at the end of the day, you could be contributing towards spreading that virus, and that could make people lose their lives. And this is where the government. I feel like the government made that call before. That it isn't his fault. The ship rolls down the hill, doesn't it? So it's like the government make a bad decision and they fuck people over, then it just travels down. Next thing you know, people. Because if that's the thing. If you've got a son, right? Mm-hmm. if you're put in a position where you're like, you can't earn any money, so you can't feed him, you're going to do whatever it takes to feed him, right? I'm going
to do what I feel is the right thing to do.
Exactly. Yeah. So you're going to do whatever. And I think when you put people, that's where I'm worried about the world at the moment. It's like when you put people, I'm going back to the run. Do you want to run more?
Yeah, please, bro. Yeah.
Send over. When you put people, when people have got nothing to lose and they're just like, well, if I close, I've got nothing. If I stay open, I've got a chance of survival. That's when you're going to have people just not rioting, but just going against.
Yeah, and unfortunately enough, people like that guy who owns a tattoo shop sounds like I said, we can only see it from what we see. Obviously, we don't know. Sounds like he knows what he's talking about, innit? So people fortunate enough to be in a position where they've got knowledge on it and whatnot are able to try their best to stay open versus people who don't have any knowledge on it whatsoever are unfortunately just got a close up. Sorry, I say
this...
get mixer, sorry, please.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right.
I say this all the time though, like with social media, and I feel like we talk a lot about social media, but because it is so, I think especially during these times, it's so prominent because like it's a main way to stay in touch with people at the moment, right? Especially with lockdown. But I feel like with social media, it's like something. You're shaking bad, aren't you?
No, it's because I'm trying not to knock this. I'm focusing so bad.
Like you had like Tourette's, not Tourette's. I don't even know. You just look like you had shakes.
Don't fall down that rabbit hole, son.
Yeah, I wouldn't say fucking anything. Though.
It's the Red Bull. It's got me. Mate. But yeah, terrible.
But yeah, when you
There you go, man. Cheers, mate.
When people see stuff on social media and they take it as gospel now, so it's like if you see, so if I posted something tomorrow and said, judging by law 2.6754, we can stay open as long as we say something. Like, do you know what I mean? Just come up with some bullshit thing, but state and make it sound and look like it's a proper term and proper terminology. Then someone else will then share my post and spread that message, which is incorrect. Or because I did see someone was talking about. I see someone when they'll talk about the vaccine. So someone was breaking down the ingredients of the vaccine, right? So it was like, if you Google what this means and this means, look into this, look into that. And I agree, like, fair enough. So they did all this. There's like a 4-minute video where they'll talk about, would you put this in your body? It's like, you shouldn't do this. Look, this word means that and this means this. And then someone afterwards then explained. So that, just from watching that video, I was like, fucking hell, how are they getting away with this? The bastards. Right. But then someone else afterwards then broke down, like, no, that's to do with the scientific term for the, like, do you know what I mean? The intensity.
Do you know what it is? They play on, people that make these kind of videos, it caters for people that have certain traits, and it's not a negative thing, but people will open their ears up and look for certain pieces of information. So these people that, I think it's called like fear mongering or whatever.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
They release it to have like people, worrying. And there's certain people out there that have the traits to kind of take that as gospel and run with it. You know what I mean? And then before you know it, you've got a whole lot of madness. And I think with like the whole corona thing, like, would you take the vaccine?
Nah, but this is the thing. Like, I wouldn't expect anyone who's not vulnerable to take the. I understand if you wanted to, and that's within your choice. But I don't understand why anyone who isn't vulnerable and isn't high risk to the vaccine or to the virus to take it. Like, I've never had a flu jab either. It's not just a case of being like, I'm not having the corona jab. I've not had a flu jab. I wouldn't choose to put anything in my body unless I was 100% certain on it.
Right.
And you can't be.
I'm not trying to like potentially grow another limb or something like that. I mean,
you just don't. The thing is that I would never. This is what annoys me, right? Is that people they try and lead people by fear. So there's nothing wrong with like giving your opinion and saying don't get the vaccine or be wary of the vaccine because of this reason. The problem is that when I hear some people talk, they're like, the vaccine's going to fucking kill you. It's going to fucking, they're putting chips in you. And I'm like,
I just remembered, I've seen two things. There's one thing that people are pushing the narrative for is the mark of the beast. You know, that whole conspiracy thing.
Yeah.
And then there's another one where, this is a genuine one as well. They're injecting it into kids and it's developed them to have ADHD and autism.
But they say that to do with the vaccines is when you, like, not this corona one. This is to do with the vaccines. No, like, did you give the vaccines to your son?
I hope so.
You don't even fucking know.
Yeah. No, I get like the whole, they call it like jabs.
Yeah, so jabs. But what I mean is that they're apparently scientifically proven like to not give. That is like they contribute towards. So either way, I don't know the scientific terms, but if I had a kid, what is it more worth the risk? The someone being like, oh, there might be jabs.
Like he didn't have the flu jab. Like with the flu jab, I swear you're injecting the flu into someone.
But that's like with any of the. I think I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure with any of the vaccines or anything like that, or any of the jabs, the whole point is to build antibodies. So they have to put some of the virus in you. It's
mad, isn't it?
It is mad.
But just to think like you shit that out.
Yeah, but I think that's what I mean. I always encourage people just to think. If someone said to me they're getting the vaccine and they want to be the first one to get it, I'd be like, cool, fair play. If you ask me, would I get it? Absolutely
hell
no. No, hell no to the no.
Bro, like when I was younger, so my nan, God rest her soul, used to tell me all kinds of mad stories. And I was walking my dog earlier, and I was just laughing because sometimes I just reminisce on that. Like I used to sit on the end of her bed, and she would just tell me like really random stories. And one of them was it got me thinking about the vaccine. It just popped into my head, and I started laughing. She told me, oh yeah, when she was younger, so you got a picture like all these like Cockney like grandmas and that all together and that. And her friend's friend, like she'd met him as well. I swear to you, I always tell people like, oh, fuck off about that. Her friend's child had a finger growing out the top of his head.
Yeah, see, it's just.
You know what I mean? I
fucking like that's it.
Like,
don't get any of
it. What do you do? You have to wear hats for the rest of your life. Like, I'm trying.
This is your takeaway. That's your takeaway. He grew a finger on his head. What's he do? Wear hats or like what? Like what?
Nah, that gives a whole. I'm trying to think of a pun. Help me. That's like giving a whole different meaning to giving head to a girl, isn't it?
What?
You got a finger on your head, bro.
What's
that?
Get
it? Does it not correlate now?
No.
That pun didn't work, did it? I felt like it did. I feel like it just didn't land, didn't it?
Fuck. That's a whole different meaning of a song. That's the worst.
You don't get it? He's got
There's
a finger on his head, bro.
I get what you're saying, but I know
that pun did land.
Yeah, no, it's all right. Don't worry about it. You go all right. Don't worry.
Is it all forgetting?
It's all forgotten.
We're forgetting about you joking that I had Parkinson's, yeah.
What? And you're?
But that's not my business.
Yeah. What about the app? I don't want to. I can't even remember what you said. Something like,
yeah, good.
I didn't want to do my Apu voice.
No, that's how I respect it.
Do you reckon? If Simpsons was made tomorrow, they would get away with a lot of. Like,
hell no.
Because there's quite a few shows like that, isn't there? Like even like Little Britain was one, wasn't it? They tried like cancelling it, and I think it actually did get
they
taken
did
off.
A lot of it. Even that
that was bad though. Little Britain was bad.
Yeah, bro. Like, I was a big fan of Only Fools and Horses and that and stuff. And there's like quite a lot of scenes where they use like talking about gay people and transgender and whatnot. But there's one scene in particular when he's talking and he's like, "Oh yeah, tranny this," and I was like, "Whoa!" It just wouldn't be the same. But like. Actually, I can't get into that too much. I was going to say, what do you think about the whole poo thing? But like, but I mean, as in like growing up, like that was normal, weren't it? But
I think the problem is that like, I don't think there's anything wrong with having a character which is like it's similar with like when you watch like Kidulthood or what's the other one? Is it not Adulthood? There's a joke one. Anotherhood, is it?
Yeah, it's Anotherhood.
But like they play on like they play on obviously certain characters which you'd grow up around. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. That's just like making light of certain situations. I think when it's offensive, it's different. But I feel like
a white guy probably shouldn't do a Pooh's voice. To be fair, I think.
But was a white guy doing a Pooh's voice?
White guy, yeah.
Yeah, but there's nothing. No, what's wrong with that? If it's a cartoon.
Yeah, but and the thing is as well. Like I'm not saying that's right or wrong, but. If a black or Asian person started like doing a Cockney voice in front of me, I really wouldn't get offended. Yeah.
I always struggle with this though because like I feel if you know me and all these things, you would, and same with yourself, like you would know that we would never mean anything in a racist way. But I'm always conscious of knowing you talk. Yeah, this is just something that goes through my head like all the time. I'm like, is it okay for me to say?
I know,
and because I definitely don't want to say anything offensive. I don't want to be racist. I don't want to contribute to anything. But you, it's kind of like almost trying to understand, and that's why I love having conversations with people about like whether it's racism. That whole thing with when we got torn to pieces about the whole sexist stuff.
Yeah,
regardless of anything, I found that interesting because it made me understand it a bit better. So. It's so difficult, I think, because you want to support and you want to not even support. You want to fight for the same thing that like equality. You want to fight for those things, but just out of humor. We're saying this with like the comedians, like the best comedians make joke of their situations, and it's like you want to be able to joke about stuff. Like earlier on when you talked about like the boss man and being at the shop, it's no way offensive, but it's so easy for that to be twisted to be like, yeah, fucking hell.
If he said to me, "Oh, did you want a couple of Stellas then?"
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like if I was a Jamaican man with dreadlocks and I walked in, he's like, "Oh, I'm guessing you want Magnums." He probably would say, "Guessing, but do you want Magnums?" I don't know. I guess it's the equivalent to saying to me, "Oh, do you want Stella?" Like,
really. But that's but the difference
saying that,
it's very different.
If you walked into my restaurant and I went, "You want curry?" It's quite different actually. So that's not a good analogy, is it? But
but that's what I mean. But it's hard to understand sometimes, and I feel like everyone's. You say one wrong thing and then it's like social media tear you to pieces.
I think as well, I shouldn't say I think. My opinion on it, obviously I don't have a strong opinion because it's one of the things we but my views on it, I should say, is like, I think of all different cultures and all different backgrounds openly shared their kind of like culture with one another and on a frequent basis. And it wasn't something that was kind of... what's the words? You know when people don't talk about something as much as they should? You know, like, for example,
closed off. Like,
people don't talk about mental health too much. What's that called?
Stigma.
We'll say stigma. So, for example, this is an example. If you're in your office, and your African friend brings through like a traditional African dish, I don't know, say... well, I'm not even going to try to say it with... just in case it goes pear-shaped. And like it smells... like obviously an African dish and whatnot, and people are like, oh, what's that smell? Rah, rah. Instead of like just going quiet and not saying anything, because you know you've always got that one person in the office. Oh, what the fuck's that smell? Like, why not just approach that person? Oh, cool, what are you eating? Do you know what I mean? Have those kind of interactions, and there shouldn't be any kind of awkwardness, because when there's the awkwardness, it leaves room for people to kind of overthink things and perceive things as racist, and we should all really just be open about each other's cultures.
Of course, but I also think on the same token, and this is where I think it's difficult, because there's some people who are racist, right? Some people who are like genuinely racist, and they have these agendas towards different races or whatever. And then there's other people who are ignorant. They don't realize what they're doing or what they're saying is offensive. I think, like, just in my opinion, when someone says something that is potentially offensive, the first thing people do is attack them. They go, "You're fucking racist, you fucking arsehole." Whereas realistically what they needed was education.
Exactly.
But on the same token, I don't think that people should be tread on eggshells. I think so, because so in that scenario you just said, right, you're in the office, there's a dish that is from a different ethnicity or a different nationality or whatever, and it's not your usual smell. You smell it and you go, "What the fuck's that?" Like, you would do that same reaction if it was any dish from any, like, do you know what I mean? Something that you wasn't used to. But what the fuck is that? You wouldn't. You're not going to change.
It comes across as negative, is what I'm saying.
But you're not going to change someone's, like, if someone's approach to stuff, then no one's going to just be like, "Oh, what is that lovely dish you've got?" But
think as a white male, for example, say if there's someone in the office you've not spoken to, for, like, African and whatnot. You're not, maybe, I don't know, you might not feel comfortable enough to go, like, I mean, even overthinking that process of going over, asking them what they're eating, you might be like, "Oh no, but is that offensive though?" You might even overthink that interaction. That's what I'm kind of saying. Like, people overthink a lot of things, and I think if we didn't overthink things and we were just respectful and actually asked stuff about different cultures, and there wasn't like a fear of asking questions, I think a lot of racism hopefully would be eliminated. Do you know what I mean? So
I do think, like, a lot of again, this is only like from an outside looking in, but a lot of the people who have these strong views that are racist and they feel away, like there's all them Sainsbury's adverts at the moment and stuff, and companies which are promoting, you know, stories from different nationalities, which is brilliant. It's amazing. But I think the problem is that the people who are the people who are complaining and kicking off about it, they're like uncultured, so they don't have. So I know, like, and you're the same. Like, I've got friends who are from all over the world. So I've got friends who are from Ghana. I've got friends who are from Uganda. I've got friends from all over New Zealand. Do you have all these different, like, do you know what I mean, cultures and different like everything, like, so you understand and you find it interesting because you understand, you can relate to it, because if you hear if I hear a story about Africa, when I went to Africa and I spoke to people and I met people, they reminded me of friends I had, and I could, when you were seeing someone who was maybe struggling or someone who was having a tough time, I didn't see them as just, do you know what I mean? You can relate to them. It's no different to when they say, when you see, if you saw a starving, like 4-year-old girl with blonde hair, blue eyes, like white skinned, and then you saw a 4-year-old.
It's true.
It's like people, but the ways people's mind work is they normalize the
they see it on the
because they see it on TV.
adverts.
Yeah, exactly. But if you switch them adverts and put it to a 4-year-old white girl
from London,
from London, who was then homeless, people would be like, "Oh my god, I can't believe it." And
if it became a crisis for like people in London,
exactly. But it's no different. Like they're both young children who don't have enough. But the problem is that if you can't relate to it, that's where I think the issue is. That's my thing with racism. I think that if people were a bit more cultured, they were surrounded by more people from different ethnicities and different cultures, understood it a bit more, then maybe, like, I don't know for a fact, but maybe they'd be a bit more sensitive around the issue. Because I see all this dumb stuff where people are like the whole White Lives Matter stuff, right? People go
all lives matter.
All lives matter, and I'm like, you completely missing the point. Like, it's completely gone over your head because it's not about all lives. Right this moment, Black lives are being targeted and they're having issues, and we want to support them. But their response is, well, all lives matter, but that's not. Do you see what I mean? It's but I think if they was, I think the people who were saying that, if they were surrounded by more people who are actually directly impacted by the stuff, then I think they would have more of a, they'd be more sensitive to the issue. They'd be more like, do you know what? Fucking hell, my friend I know who's suffered. Like, I hope you don't mind me saying this, Manny. Yeah. We'll talk about it earlier on before we start recording. Like, Manny, when the whole stuff happened with George Floyd and then the Black Lives Matter movement become massive, that impacted him massively. And I remember him saying, like, having conversations with him. We had like a long conversations where we were talking about. We actually ended up recording a song from it. He recorded. I filmed him.
Our features on his greatest hit. Yeah.
But what I mean is that he was really, really impacted by it. So which like is a domino effect, because I saw how impacted he was by that. I was like, this is really fucking serious. And it wasn't just him. There's others as well. But I'm like, fuck. Do you know what? He's dealt with X, Y, Z through his whole life. And then when something like that happens, it puts a magnifying glass. It almost opens up all the wounds that they've kind of had to kind of cover up and band-aid. And it's like, but the people who are being racist and having those views they're not seeing that. They're just seeing the Black Lives Matter hashtag without any context.
And the thing is that I kind of experienced seeing as well. Like, I had black friends, work friends, and people around me, some of who genuinely seemed like hurt and upset by it. And a lot of people that I heard around me as well, not necessarily friends, but just people in general, were kind of like, why the fuck they protesting? This happened in America. It's got nothing to do with us. Why the fuck we do? Like, it's just it's absolute arrogance, isn't it? It's just ignorant. But another like point I kind of wanted to briefly touch on, sorry if I segue off, is like, I think we hold a responsibility, and I think straight away, as soon as I say those kind of words, people, whether it be white people, be like, why do we hold responsibility? But truth is, we do, in order to be accept any changes. For example, being honest, like my nan, like if she referred to someone of biracial descent or whatever, she'd say half caste. And I'd be like, oh, nan, it's not that anymore. It's mixed race. I say mixed race. And then someone only as of a couple of months ago goes, it's not mixed race, it's biracial. So it's constantly evolving, but you can never be like, oh, that's stupid. You have to be accepting of that. Do you know what I mean?
I said this, responsibility is a big word, like a key word, because I remember, I can't remember who I was speaking to, and I said, whether I like it or not, my great-great-great-great-grandfather or great-great-great whoever, the odds are had a slave at some point, right? So was racist and slave. So I was like, of course I don't believe that, but I hold a responsibility because you can't be ignorant to the issues. Like somewhere along my bloodline, it's likely that happened, and I'm like, so I can't just be like, well, it's not my problem. It's like, it's no different. It's no different to if someone close to me, if a family member acts in a certain way, I hold responsibility for that. So I think when people are ignorant and say, well, well, yeah, that was years ago. I fucking didn't do that. I'm like, yeah, but someone in your bloodline probably did, and you should be a bit more sensitive to the fact that is the case.
It's as simple. If you've got nothing positive to say, don't say nothing at all.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have to. I don't blame people. Some people don't want to. Talk about it. Some people feel a way about it, and I understand that. But what I really don't like is when people are against people trying to promote something positive. I hate it. I'm like, if you're trying to be positive and you're trying to promote, do you know what I mean? Like, you're trying to promote, people close to you are hurting and they're being targeted and they're in need of support. All right, you might not want to give that support. That's on you if you don't want to do that. But don't knock other people for trying to support it.
Yeah, exactly. Like for me, I said to you as well before the cameras when you said about Manny, I was kind of like, where I was at with that, I didn't necessarily post all over my socials and in all of the WhatsApp group chats actively speak about it that much. But like I kind of reached out to like the black friends around me that, especially the ones that I knew were kind of upset and affected by it more so than others, even though I kind of reached out to everyone. But I was just like, although you may not see me all over socials or more, you know how I am as a person, you know I'm completely supportive, but if you ever want to chat or whatever,
because sometimes you don't know. That's the thing, you don't know how to help. Like I remember when all that was going on, I went to like the Milton Keynes march. I posted what I could, and I was like, I didn't really feel like it was helping. But prior to any of that, I felt like I was. It wasn't like that happened. I was like, all right, I need to. Like, of course, we always need to do more, but I didn't see that and be like, all right, okay, from now on, I'm gonna. I remember, and I probably shouldn't even talk about this, but I'll mention it. Like, I was in a scenario where we met a group of people, or someone come around mine, and it was like a friend of a friend. It wasn't like someone I knew. And I was playing my music, and anyone like we love like hip hop, rap music, and all that stuff. And they said, I didn't like this person. I'll be straight up. I didn't like them from the moment they walked in, but it was a friend of a friend. So it's one of them scenarios where they're in your house and it's a little while ago. And they said, I fucking hate black music. Can we play something else? And I remember like when that happened, I said, what do you mean you don't like black music?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean by that? And she goes, "Should you not play something from the 80s? I was like, what? Was there no black artists in the 80s? Yeah. But I got really annoyed.
Yeah.
And I remember in that scenario, this was before the George Floyd stuff, this before anything else, but at the time I was being told, just leave it. It's like
you've had a couple of drinks, you're being
dramatic.
And I was
one
of them ones.
Yeah, I was being made to like as if I was the bad guy, and I was like, no, like you can't just say something like that and not get called up on it. Like regardless for any scenario, I don't care if it's awkward in the room. Yeah. And then I felt like the whole like George Floyd thing happened, and then people were like, oh shit, we've got to start like, do you know what I mean? Being more, we've got to start being better in these scenarios. And I was like, but it's frustrating because it shouldn't have taken someone to lose their life for people to start realizing that stuff's wrong. That shouldn't be how this. That seems to be like a knock-on effect in the world. It's like people don't get their praise or their love when they're here. They get it after they pass away. It's like when they pass away. Like if I was to die tomorrow, I'm gonna have 100 cousins. Everyone's my best mate. Everyone fucking loves me.
We're seeing that a lot in like rap culture, especially like, unfortunately at this moment. Do you know what I mean?
It shouldn't take for something bad to happen for people to just. Do you know what I mean? Like the right and wrong's right and wrong. There is no it's wrong now because that happened. Like it's just wrong. Like if people are racist, it's wrong. If people are sexist, it's wrong. If people are offensive, it's wrong. There shouldn't be. Oh no. That's happened, so now we need to. I don't know. It sounds like I'm getting heated about it. It's just because I find that stuff so jarring. Because, like, we'll talk about like social media, and it's like as soon as that happened, everyone wanted to commentate and they wanted to point a finger at someone else.
Yeah.
They wanted to go, "Oh, look at this racist bastard," and I was like, "Nah." But before this happened, you wasn't saying shit. So now you're pointing a finger at someone else, but you that finger could be pointed at you a month ago. So stop blaming someone and try and educate them. Don't like everyone was just trying to attack each other. Everyone was trying. I was like, there's got to be a point of where you stop attacking. You got to start educating. Do you know what I mean? It's not all about you're racist. You're fucking racist. It's like no. If some people are just ignorant. Do you know what I mean? Like it's just some people are just ignorant.
Yeah. I can't speak on, of course, Jesus, like black people's perspective, but I think from my own perspective, it's kind of like. It's positive that people posting, by the way. I'm definitely not going to say anything negative about it. It's all well and good posting and stuff, but I just think people need to actively, like I said, my kind of perspective is to openly speak to people in different cultures and stuff. Growing up for me, which kind of helped me become open-minded as I got older, and thankful I did, is kind of like, I was at a specific period, I had a lot of Ghanaian friends, and like they had like older relatives and stuff, and they'd like banter me, and they'd teach me like Twi, which is like Ghanaian language and stuff like that. And then like they'd introduce me to other Ghanaian people, and I'd start breaking out and saying certain things, and they're like baffled, and it was just funny. But I think the thing that kind of I took away from that, like I enjoyed learning about a different culture.
Yeah.
And when I met other cultures, I'd very openly ask them questions. Oh, so, rah, rah, do you know what I mean? And I think that's important to learn about one another. At the end of the day, we have to, I say we have to, but yeah, we live with each other. And
but that's what I mean.
This country, not even a country, the UK in general is forever evolving. There's all different people from different backgrounds in it. So
yeah, but that's what I mean. Like 100%. I'm not saying people are bad for posting. Like it's more, don't get on your high horse. Do you know what I mean? Like you promote knowledge and educate people and share the posts which are like relevant. Don't, as soon as something happen, then be like, you fucking, do you know what I mean? It's like you should be promoting and educating. I think that's more important. It's about educating. I think people aren't educated, as you said. Like you're personally trying to understand other cultures, so you have a better understanding and understanding of people.
Yeah, there's a lot of different like black influences we've subconsciously picked up, like from growing up, whether it would be predominantly like when I used to listen to grime, like the culture of like the clothing, the way you talk, even the music, of course, most importantly at that time period. And like even growing up now, like being completely honest, when I was listening to 50 Cent at a very young age, like I was saying the N-word and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? Because of course you don't understand.
Yeah, you don't understand
how strong that. And even I've heard like black people like say the N-word, and of course I'd never be like, you can't say that. But in my mind, I'm like, yo, like, well, when I keep hearing people repeat it, I get uncomfortable. Like I was watching Cat Williams the other day, and I was like, the amount of time he said the N-word, I was like, do people still actively say it that often? I don't know if they do. I don't know if they... It's not for me to comment on. Like I said, of course, they own that word, Jesus. But I just, from my perspective, I just get uncomfortable with hearing the words this day.
I'm the same. I don't like it. But I was the same. The same as you. When you're younger, you don't understand. And you don't understand it, so I'm not going to say, like, I've never said it. Of course, like when I was younger... I was ignorant. I didn't understand the weight, necessarily the weight of that word. Yeah. I was just rapping along to songs, and it's rap culture, and it's all this stuff.
Age,
Yeah, and you do that, and then, but as you get older, you realise, shit, do you know what? That carries a lot more weight than just the song. And I understand, and artists, whatever, they can choose to use it. I personally don't think. Like I understand why the whole we're taking ownership of the word. Yeah, I'm in no position to say what's right and wrong, but I think it's just be a word that isn't used.
It's not even something we'll even say who's it right or wrong. It's like I said, there's nothing for us to even comment on that. But I see something on Gix before. I think he was like in an interview, and there was like, obviously you use the N word within some of your lyrics. Like, how do you feel about that word in general? And he was like, to be honest, I feel like a type of way about it. Like he still says it, but he's like, the time when I really do feel a way about it is when I'm at my concerts, and like my audience, when I go to my concerts, are predominantly white, and they repeat the word back to me. Like I'll be rapping, rah rah, I'll drop the N word, and then like I'm looking in the crowd to see who repeats it.
Have you seen the Kendrick Lamar when he gets someone on stage to rap a verse?
Was it? Remind me, because I think I have seen it.
No. So it's not a famous person. He gets someone from the crowd.
That's what I'm saying. I think
it's like a white person.
Was it a white woman, a white girl?
I think it's a white woman. Yeah. And he gets on stage and she gets him to do. He gets her to do the verse, and she starts rapping it, and then obviously just as Kendrick did, like says the N word, and he's like, whoa, we're gonna have to cut that part. Like you can't say that, which I get, but it's even like so Lewis Hamilton obviously won his 7th title.
Yes,
it's fucking sick. Like it's so like dope, because the thing is it's not only like he's beat like British guy, like driver winning the thing. He's the first black F1 driver. That is So he's the like, it's mad, because obviously I come from karting, so like a lot of the circuits where he raced at, I was racing that, and being in that kind of community.
He was my best mate.
Yeah, it's fucking me and him go way back. But it's like you being in that kind of community and seeing it like from the grassroots. It's like there was obviously more ethnicities there, but it was like predominantly white, like rich, white, posh.
Yeah, I think it's not even like we're purposely doing it, but I think it's already leading to like a positive.
It's fucking incredible, mate. It's so good.
Because even like I've said to you, like every like time we come on, like I wanted to mention the guy. So this is like prime example. we're forever evolving, despite there's negative things, but there's positive things. You know, Dutchavelli.
Yeah.
I said to you, so Stormzy, a lot of people would be like, oh yeah, he was the first kind of rapper to really make it into the pop charts. Not to make it into the pop charts, sorry, to make it into the charts. But he, not like wait. Not that I'm gonna say he's a pop artist, but he released pop music to kind of elevate him there, which I'm not mad at. I get it completely. Whereas Dutchavelli is through and through like a road guy. Like, he's about that life, and he's never once like released anything even remotely commercial or pop. And now his name is within the charts and stuff like that. So rewind back to when we used to listen to grime and stuff, and it was called urban and it was underground, and you'd very rarely hear it in the charts. And then like, I think it was like Wiley or Roll Deep or someone, like something poppy got the charts, and even that was mad. And now we're at a place where someone like from the streets or whatever, I wish I could articulate it better than that, but is in the charts is crazy. It's a positive thing. It goes hand in hand with, like I said before, that the kind of drill thing that these artists have kind of turned negatives into positive. Do you know what I mean? And the fact that that's in like the charts, and like Radio 1 listeners are predominantly, let's be honest, probably like white mums taking their kids to school in the mornings and stuff.
Well, I think the sickest thing about it, like, because you're right, I think whenever you've got artists who come from like a certain background, and that's always been a thing with music, but I think seeing it with sport now, like Lewis Hamilton, people always, there's always this thing where they go, he wasn't as broke as he made out, but he was. Like, from like I've done like when he first come from, I knew him, like not knew him, but I remember studying when he was like from before he was in F1, but it's like seeing someone who, like he was saying when he first came through, so in use Lewis Hamilton for example, when he first come through, there was no one he could look at who was like him.
Yeah, an inspiration.
So he could look at other drivers, but there was no one who come from the background. There was no one who looked like him. No one
Michael Schumacher. What was he? Swiss?
He's German. Yeah. But anyway, it's like you can look at all these drivers, but if none of them like kind of, it's the whole thing. That's why Black Panther was so powerful, because there was hardly any superheroes that looked like. Do you know what I mean? So the cool thing is seeing that Lewis Hamilton is now like obviously the most successful F1 driver of all time, and it's a predominantly white sport, and it's rich white people. That's the thing. And then you look at golf, most successful golf player Tiger Woods. Again, predominantly a white sport. Like it's again that whole thing. And you look in a lot of these sports now. You look in a lot of these. You choose any sport. Like there's more ethnicities coming through and being very successful. Because there's not. The one thing I've always hated is when you say I never liked the term. He's the first black F1 driver.
Knew you was gonna say that.
I don't like that term, but it's worth noting. It's like similar to Barack Obama when he was the first black president.
And obviously, you know that you're probably going to say something similar. It's like hockey, ice hockey, whatever. We're going to come to a point, hopefully, and I'm sure we will, where it's not going to be the first this, the first that. Do you know what I mean? It's just going to be so and so, and it's going to be their name. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm sure we'll get there. And
but that's the thing. But it's just fact. Lewis Hamilton's like forget first of anything. Oh. He's the most successful F1 driver in all time, But this is what I mean. I think there's like definitely there's loads of posts over like Facebook and like social media talking about he's not the best driver because he's got the fucking best car. And all these comments. Like, I'm a big fan of F1, so I like it. And it's like that's just but what about Michael Schumacher? Like Michael Schumacher had the best car. So, but that's what I mean. I think there's like systematic racism in those things. Like it's almost like
trying to justify.
You don't even realize. You're like, no, he's not the best driver. And it's like, but when a German white guy was winning everything, and he was in the best car.
True, bro.
He's the best driver. It's just it is mad. But that's what I mean. Like with social media, it's so easy to just fucking. Do you know what I mean? Like just.
I hear that, bro. There's something I was gonna say in it.
Yeah, you said before we started. You took a note. Something.
I remember the whole. So I said to you last night because people keep talking to me about this documentary. I don't know if it's been out for a while or not, but it had references to a lot of stuff that's going on at the minute called The Social Dilemma.
Yeah, I've still watched it. I've heard a lot about it, but
so I'll jump straight into the deep end. Yeah, I won't tiptoe around it. I'll try to explain it as best as possible. Because me retaining information is like. So basically, it starts off and it's got all these like ex-CEOs, like
ex-CEOs.
So I'm going to say basically a lot of different people from old social media companies. Like for example, one of the first people that worked at Instagram. The person who created the like button at Facebook, And they just collated all these different people.
So people who are like key parts of the social media.
Yeah, just basically to speak about it on camera. And it starts off and they're all looking shit scared, like to talk about it. And you're thinking, wait, what am I going to discover here? Like, what's going on here? And they openly start talking about things and kind of paint it in a nutshell. I think when social media first started out, don't get me wrong, there's always going to be ways to monetize things. I think they was always looking to monetize it, but they was looking from a positive aspect. Like, for example, the guy that made the like button was simple. Like, if you see a picture of me on Facebook, me and my family, you like it. I'm like, oh, so it's a like picture. I was just sharing love quick, innit? And now it's became something that people crave a like picture, where like a young teen or even anyone will upload a picture, and if it gets like 2 likes in a night, like delete, re-upload the following day, and they crave that. And now the biggest, craziest thing that I kind of took from it is everything we do online, absolutely every single search is being stored. They're collected that data. No matter what even if you delete your history, every single thing you've ever searched is collated, and people store that data. And there's 3 ways, 3 things they do. I believe it's like retain, grow, and I can't remember the third one, forgive me. But they've got like a key plan in what they keep hold of you by the reins. Like, for example, this is one of the maddest things as well. Like, if you're in a room and there's like, say for a girl that you like or whatever, there's someone just within that big room, I don't know, say if you're at a club or whatever, yeah. On Facebook or another social platform or whatever, they can automatically make that person pop up in your suggested friends. Like, it's almost like, so for example, you could be like, oh, it's fate that I met my girlfriend. Nah, there was someone behind the keyboards putting that suggested.
Yeah, there's like there's code in place to kind of...
Along with, of course, the adverts and whatnot on like all these different platforms that subconsciously are actually making you... are predicting your future. That's it. That's one of the prime things to take away from it. Sorry. They were almost predicting people's futures. How crazy is that? Like, so they could literally, say for example, you were in a negative headspace or whatever, and you watched one video on, I don't know, Donald Trump, a conspiracy theory. They will absolutely run with that, because now they've got that data. You've put that in. Everything around that now, whether it be on Facebook, YouTube, everything, they know what to hit you with. And the reason why they do that, say for example, that Donald Trump thing, put my phone down. YouTube pops up, and I don't know if you've got YouTube installed in your phone.
Yeah.
Sometimes it comes up suggested videos. Have you seen that?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So what pops up? Suggested video. You look at your phone. Donald Trump pops back up. I'm watching TV. I've been on my phone for hours. Fuck that. I need to see Donald Trump again, boy. Like,
yeah, and it's like...
And before you know it, they've got you. And the reason why they do that, like I said, it comes back to monetizing things. So the longer you're on it, the more money they're making.
Yeah.
So it's within their best interest, absolutely get you by the reins. And for me, that was absolutely crazy, bro. Like, the thing that the reason why I wanted to bring up this subject is because, again, going back to the whole fear-mongering thing, it's all well and good, and I completely see what they're saying, and I do think there's certain things that do need to change within social media for like mental health reasons and whatnot. But of course, it's like I said, within that company's best interest to make as much money as possible, but they have a responsibility there. But there's positive things of it as well, because I took away from it and I was like, yo, deep breath, like that's mad, like a proper deep there. Then I was like, but I'm guilty of doing the similar things as well. Like, for example, when we upload content, I don't know if I shows were baiting and stuff like that, but when we upload content on Insta, like, I don't know if anyone's ever realised, like, one of the captions was, is Corona fake? Now, we don't do that because that was just a general thought. We thought, oh yeah, we've done that because we want people to tune in and go, what's this about? And it's the same with everything. So I'm guilty of that. And that's a positive thing for me to develop on our platform. So, of course, I angle it at the requirements that we need in order to get an audience. Well, yeah, so there's positives as well. So.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. It's just knowing you, like, everyone has thoughts, right? But when you actually write, if you wrote your thoughts down on a bit of paper, it'd sound pretty scary, right?
Yeah.
Know if all the stuff you thought in a day, not just everything from the morning to the evening, write down every thought that comes in your head. it'd be pretty fucking like, whoa, like, what, you thought that? Like, what, you said that? Yeah. So the thing is that when they create these shows or create these documentaries, and it kind of puts in stuff that we probably already subconsciously know, like that, like the stuff you said, I haven't seen it yet, but it's not anything that surprised me. It's like, what, they do that?
That's
like,
what I mean,
it's stuff that you're kind of aware of, like. My mum's very like, she always badmouths Alexa, being like, they're fucking, because I've got like Alexa everything. I've got plugs, I've got like everything in my house like Alexa.
Did you receive that double-ended dildo I ordered on it last week?
but yeah, and she's like, they're all fucking watching you, and I was like, Mum, I'll be honest, I'm like, you're probably 100% right, I don't doubt that, but I was like, I carry around my phone, and if they're not listening through my phone, they're not listening through any TV, like, do you know what I mean? Just fucking, there's something. So like, it's stuff that you know, but it's I don't know where it ends though, man. Like, because people would argue that it's good because they tailor your, like, so when you go on YouTube, I love it. I'm one of them people who need like noise. Like, I can't be in a silent, if I'm at home, I need either music playing. If it's not music, I need to have like something on YouTube. So one of my biggest pet hates when I go on YouTube and there isn't a video that I can watch. Like, when you come on, there's always something, like whether it's an interview or something. So a lot of the time I'm like, fucking what? Donald, no, is that the other day it was like Obama roasting people, and I was like, fucking brilliant, all right, sweet. I don't even know why that come up, but I must have, as you said, I must have searched something on something, because I've never once searched Obama in my life, I don't think, like in terms of on YouTube, but it come up and I was like, sweet, and I watched it and it's fucking great, gave me some background noise, but with great power comes great responsibility, and the problem is that people with that word to Spider-Man, Uncle Ben. But the problem is that the people who have that power, I don't trust them to use it.
It's not within your needs, is it? At the end of the day, it's what, like I said, like benefits them financially and whatnot as well. But like I said, it comes back to screen time. Like, my screen time has been up to like 8 hours sometimes a day. How fucking crazy is that? Mate, and now I watch it and whatnot as well. But like you said about responsibility, like one of the things we were like briefly talking about off camera as well was like people in high places with social media, and do they kind of hold responsibility in terms of things that they post and whatnot as well. And
mate, because that's something that I'm always conflicted on, because like, it's not even people in high power all the time. Like, you can have like friends and
with a following, then with
a following, or
just how you perceive.
Just I think the people with following is the more pressing issue. But I think like even people in your direct circle, or people who you went to school with and you know them, like you can know someone. So I know you by person, you know me by person, right? So we know each other, and if you post something. If you post something on social media, I was like, what a fucking donut. Or I might post something and you go, what a fucking donut. Like, either way, I would like to think you'd give me the benefit of the doubt, and I'd give you the benefit of the doubt. Because I'm like, I know Brad, he's fucking, like, he's not a dick. He's just clearly just post. But I think that's such a common thing now with social media. Again, I feel like social media is such a fucking, I feel like I just talk about social media all the time. It's fucking jarring, but it's true. Like, people have like a social media persona, and they have a real life persona, and it's like that. And sometimes they're like this, and they're like the same, but a lot of the time they're completely different. Someone is on social media is completely different, and that's why I don't like the whole thing when they're like social media is like a highlight reel. It's a highlight reel. It's not a highlight reel. It's
even fucking called that now as well. Some of the stuff, isn't it? Like, the stories,
but I don't think it's a highlight reel. I think it's the side that they want to show you. Like,
very true.
Yeah, I remember, like, and I'm guilty for it. Like, the stuff I post on social media is all I don't. It's not attention. It's not attention seeking. But I'll only show the side I want to show you. So it won't always be positive. It won't always be my highlight reel. It won't always be positive. It won't always be happy. Like, I post like songs which are depressing as shit. That's not me showing my highlight reel, is it? But I'll show you what I want to show you.
That you enjoy,
but I'll show you what I want to show you. But there's other people who are trying to. They're trying to show you a side of them that doesn't actually exist. They're trying to show you a side of you that they want want to be real.
It's always those loud people on social media. You meet them in person and they're quiet.
Mate, it's mad.
And it's like, one thing for me as well, like, I openly said to you, I'm guilty of it. Like, even to this day, I think some of the stuff I post, and sometimes I post and I delete, because I'm conscious that I'm kind of, I can't think of the correct word, replicating what I used to be like when I was younger and I was partying abroad and whatnot. Like my social media persona was like B Diddy bitch, I'm on a night out, like just very much like bottles. Mate, like just
I looked
this dickhead.
On like, I don't really use Facebook much anymore, but you go on to memories. I'm not sure.
Yeah, of course.
And you look back at what you post, and I cringe. I look at it like so. That's what I mean. I'm guilty for it as well. Like I look at it and I'm like, what the fuck? Because I remember looking at the years, and I remember like you remember what you were going, what was going on that year, and I'm posting this nonsense, and I'm like, that wasn't like that.
Mine was like a party persona. That's what mine was. It was. To be fair, when I say it was persona, I was living that life, but for some reason, it wasn't even out of arrogance. It was playful as well.
Yeah.
But then I didn't kind of think, although I'm playful and I'm bantering, there's probably going to be a lot of people that don't think I'm actually playing, and they think, what a dickhead.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So
I remember like, I went through a phase like this was back when I was like 2021. Went through a phase of just buying. I don't know why, it's fucking dumb. When I think of it, I used to go on nights out and buy multiple bottles of champagne. No one wanted champagne, so I wouldn't even drink them. Like it would just be, it was like a novelty. It was funny, but there's pictures and like posts of me,
holding the bottle,
like but that's what I mean. It wasn't even like trying to flex. It was like it was like a novelty. But it was a fake persona.
That was a thing at the time.
But I see it a lot now, and I don't even know how you fix that. Like I do think I love the idea of a world without social media. I love the idea of it, but there's an element of where I like social media. I actually enjoy it. I enjoy posting, and I enjoy looking back through social media. Like even when I'm looking at these memory stuff, I enjoy looking back on it. I like posting because I like in 5 years' time. So through this whole lockdown, I've tried to, whenever I've done something interesting, or when I say interesting, something that's interesting to me, I've tried posting it because I know, like one day we'll be old men. Touch wood if we make it that long. Like we'll be old men, and this whole pandemic will be like a talking matter.
Do you know what I said as well? I was like, I hope people in the future, like when I'm older, like my kids will be like, oh, you went through the corona time. So I was like, it was a hard time. I tell you, it was a hard time. But this is my thing with it, lockdown.
But the cool thing with social media, right? This is what I fucking love. The same way as that, like, I love photography, and I obviously I do it. So I love all that stuff because I like to think my Instagram, I don't know what the fuck will be exist in 50 years, but I'd like to think that Instagram some way will still be there at some fucking capacity.
I hope so. Look at Bieber.
But like, that was early in the days.
I tried to find my Bieber account, and you remember, I don't know if did you have Bieber?
Yeah.
I basically had a song in a playlist. Like mine was like Gigs Talking the Hardest, and I was like pictures with me with a bandana over my face, like MK2 and like repping like gang signs and all that. But
yeah, they're gone.
I was so gutted. I tried to find.
But you can actually still find, like, MySpace was one of them, and you can actually still get onto your MySpace. Someone told me, it was a way.
Bieber still.
I haven't tried, man. Like, I wasn't really big on Bieber. I think that was a bit after my time. Like that was, a bit after my time.
MySpace was on its way out.
So I was on MySpace, but either way, it's like in years to come, I enjoy the fact that I can look back. So when you say, what were you doing? And even these podcasts, right? So if we did another 10 episodes and go, do you know what? Fuck it, I'm not going to do anymore.
Yeah.
I would still fucking love the fact we've done them because you can come back and reference these podcasts. You can still come back and listen to what was going on in your head at that period of time. So my point is, that's why social media I think is dope, because
100%.
You're capturing a time, but
when you was even a certain way. Like, for example, we may look back at the first, like I even look back on the first episode and think, boy, like obviously I was well nervous and stuff like that, and it was just funny to look back and reminisce, but your mind state and like just so many different things, like characteristics and everything just change and develop.
Of course, yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
but that's what I'm saying. But I do find it interesting. And do you know what? Like I feel like Lloyd was saying it, and Ash said it as well, about therapy, about like you don't need to have therapy because you're bad. It's just like, you know, it's an important tool to have and everything.
The MOT.
But I feel like everyone needs, like, this sounds fucking dumb, but I feel like everyone needs therapy. I feel like everyone needs it because we're
an assessment.
Yeah, like it's true though, because I do like know with how we treat like social media and how we treat like life in general.
Everything's very serious, man. That's why I'd be laughing at stupid shit. I laugh at pain in that because I'm just like, fuck, man. Like,
yeah, but that's the thing. But I'm from speaking to Ash and Lloyd, I always played about the idea of like therapy or speaking to someone.
Yeah.
Like, I always thought, yeah, I probably should, but I won't. But I genuinely think it's important because I feel like we're like not just this generation, but I feel like we're in a period now where we're all a bit broken. Not broken in a bad way. We're all a bit broken as in like we're a bit...
Everything in this day and age is fucking mad though, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's hard to keep up.
But that's what I'm saying. But I feel like we all need to like fucking like just go, whoa, all right, stop. Like everyone just stop the ride for a sec. What the fuck is going on?
Like, my patience is fucking mad to this day. I don't know if that's like a thing for me to be like, oh yeah, I'm really proud, I'm really happy about it. I don't know. But yeah, I've got a lot of patience. So for example, if I find myself and I'm just pissed off, like it's very rare for me. And I kind of laugh at myself, even though when I'm pissed off, because it's such a rare thing, it's a positive thing. Like, going back onto the social media piece, I was having a day when I was just pissed off, and like some girl like, on my timeline on the story uploaded the picture. Have you heard of an artist called Young Blood? Please tell me you have.
Oh, don't ring a bell.
Oh, forgive me, I think he's like punk like rock pop
rock pump.
Like pop rock or whatever you want to call it, punk. Forgive me, I don't really know him as much as an artist. I know he's like collaborated with several people like Bring Me the Horizon. He's a big figure basically. She's like, oh, I love him, rah rah. And I clicked on his like Insta and I was just scrolling through all these stuff, and he was such a clout chaser, and I was just having a day. So I articulate myself well because she's a nice girl, and even if she wasn't, I still would have been nice. But I was just like, how do you love this guy? You know, when you're having a day, I was just like, this guy, yeah. So first of all,
that's such a funny
I went off of such a rant because he was like I think he's from like Derbyshire, like proper like Derby accent and that, and he was pretending to be American. First of all, he was like 22. He was like some knockoff Marilyn Manson, and he was just such a clout chaser. Like, it just wasn't authentic. Anything he was doing, it was just so put on. Like, bro, you've got like a Derby accent. You're trying to talk American. You're talking about Trump and politics. Like, it just hurt my head, and I was just like having a day, and I just went off.
That's
not her, but just like that. Like, it gets like that sometimes.
But that's what I'm saying. It's tricky. Like, that's why I'm thinking this. Like, no, normally, like before social media was a thing. If you can remember that fucking long ago, it was a long time ago. But if you were having a bad day, you would just have a bad day. You'd be left alone because you'd come home
and you ain't got to post it over.
You ain't got to post shit. You ain't got to do nothing.
And make things worse.
Yeah, because mate, that's the thing. Because the problem is that and I feel like you're very similar. Like you can be triggered by emotion, and once you're like, if you're an emotional character, and what would be emotional is that you're triggered from. If you're angry, then
impulsive.
It's impulsive. Yeah. So if you're like, it comes across. So if that's the problem with social media, is that I could say a bunch of nonsense on social media, go to bed, wake up, and then be like, "What the fuck was?
What have I done?
Yeah, what have I done?
What was I even thinking?
Yeah, what was I even doing?
True.
Yeah, and it's easy to do, but that's the problem, I guess. Like I just find it like it's an interesting thing, man. Like people have like it's like different. It's like everyone's schizophrenic now. Everyone's got a social media, like as I said, social media persona.
I think to kind of like, not that we have to wrap it up and whatnot, but like kind of like what's the word, like footnote for me is like.
Footnote.
Yeah, it's like basically what you say
to conclude.
Yeah, like I said, I it's weird. I started by saying I'm not concluding, but footnote to conclude. But it's like my thought process, and again, yeah, we're gonna come back on a lot of things. I don't know why I said footnote. Forgive me. But anyway, it's kind of like how I think about it is social media for me now. Like we do the pod, like we need to promote it. I enjoy promoting it. I enjoy talking about it and whatnot. And then I have to distinguish that from just general flicking through. Like I still do it, but then I'm like, okay, you need to limit yourself, bro. You're going crazy. You're working and whatnot. You're going through your timeline. It's fucking nonsense. Yeah. And for people that, of course, are not doing podcasts, that everyone or whatnot, I just think they should limit it. And it's crazy how detrimental it can be to like your mental health and stuff.
It is, man. And I feel like we always say it. I feel like everyone knows it, but I feel like I don't know what the solution is, man. I don't know, but it's...
Be conscious of what you're doing.
Yeah.
But, and another thing... Sorry, was you going to say something before? Go on.
Yeah, just fuck the system, man.
Fuck the system. Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. I felt like with this mic stand, I had to do like a rendition of like a certain song and just stand up because this thing is beautiful. But
you want me to spin it around? You have to...
Hey! Get on up! Yeah, I was going to kind of say, like, around the whole responsibility piece as well.
Fuck the responsibility. Fuck
I don't want it.
Yo, fuck BJ. Fuck Boris Johnson. Blow Joe. Blow Joe. You're looking at me like you fucking don't ruin
you've
my
ruined us,
bro.
No, you've ruined us. No, I'm joking. But it's like we won't go too far into it because we've touched on social media quite a bit already. And it's calm if you want to, but it's like responsibility, as into like what kind of work are you putting out on Instagram? For example, we talk. Come on, bro! You look like a Street Fighter character behind that thing. But of course, we talk about mental health. We talk about positivity and whatnot. And I don't know if that therefore means I have a responsibility for people to message me and I need to construct things. At the end of the day, like I've kindly said to a few people, listen, I'm not a counsellor of this, I'm not a counsellor of that. Like I enjoy genuinely chatting to people, so always feel free. Like it's always
you
open.
are Moses.
Yeah,
you're part in the Red Sea.
Sheep,
you're part in the Red Sea.
I'm
no,
leading
not leading the sheep.
Everybody.
Moses didn't lead.
Not like you're sheep, by the way. You're wolves, innit? I'm just leading the pack.
I'm just like the shepherd.
Yeah,
innit?
get what I'm saying, fam. But yeah, like sometimes I'm like, yeah, I just feel like a certain responsibility. Of course, if this like goes further and whatnot, and we get more successful at this, and we start making millions of pounds, which I'm sure we will. But it's like,
I mean, I'd be happy with just £100. Just someone gives us £100.
Please,
brilliant.
Just put it in my bank details. I need it right now.
Do you know? Someone said, we'll end on this because we're going song in a week, so I don't want to waffle.
Not that I was talking or anything, is it?
Oh, sorry, no, finish.
No,
I thought that was your point. You were saying you feel like you need to.
No, I'm joking. I was just going to kind of wrap it up and be like,
no, I'm wrapping it up.
Yeah, I don't know where I was going to kind of go with it now. No, you got me lost, bro. You got me lost, but.
You said you feel responsibility. Yeah. People, you're like Moses.
I think there's a pressure for people to feel responsibility where I don't necessarily feel like there should be a pressure and whatnot. Do you know what I mean? And does that make any sense, bro? Do you know? I'm not gonna lie. I had it. You made me lose it, and now I was bluffing.
And now you're just trying to get back.
Basically, long story short, I don't know what the fuck I was gonna say. My DMs are always open. Hit me, baby girl. No, I'm joking. But yeah, always feel free to message and whatnot. And yeah, that's why I love doing it. One of the many reasons why we love doing this shit.
Yeah. The reason why I was going to interrupt you, I apologise.
Yeah.
I thought you'd finished.
Hopefully, when I've got some absolute gold for you listeners,
you sounded like you had finished. You had said I've responsibility. People message me, and
it was in the back of here, innit? And it was
but you stopped and then just looked at me. So
the Maggie got me faded.
But no, I was just gonna say someone messaged me, be like, I think a few people actually have said it through posts. I've seen people said that, being like, surprised you haven't got more followers, surprised you haven't got or whatever.
Oh really? I like that. I like
but that. I was saying I don't ever want that because.
To get fixated on that, sorry.
Numbers in general, because the thing is that
unless it's in my bank account.
Yeah, and the bank account is different, but in terms of that shit, because whatever comes quick goes quick, and I feel like if you haven't built an organic audience, then you're just gonna the thing is I don't
farm range. That's
and,
what we
and not only that, I don't even care. I appreciate people that listen to this genuinely, but this for me is just my waffle. Waffling
into the waffle house.
Yeah, for me, I'm just happy to waffle my brain out, and after it, I feel like this is my way of emptying my brain. So it's dope when people listen and people appreciate and people understand and people relate and people connect and all that stuff. I love that, but the God's honest truth is I actually don't care. I could care less if 5 people watched it or 50 people watched it.
From my perspective,
I don't care.
From my perspective, I'd like a following. And it's very stupid. One of the reasons why I'd like a following is for the wrong reasons. I know it's the wrong reasons, but I'm a human. I admit it. It's kind of I'm not basing anything on our success at the minute. I enjoy doing it. And if people, even 1 or 2 people give positive feedback, that's enough for me. But it's if you put someone onto the podcast and then they look at it and you go, oh, you got 150 followers. There's kind of a perception there, oh, he's not doing that well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and that's very, I know that's stupid of me. I admit that. So for that reason alone, I'll kind of
But I genuinely, I honestly mean that from the bottom of my heart. I've released the episode, and I don't care about. I honestly, the sole reason I do is to empty my brain. If I didn't feel like I need to empty my brain,
he'd be on Love Island, and he likes that way.
I think I genuinely. I don't think I'd even care to do the podcast if I didn't feel like I wanted to empty my brain. But I'm also conscious of. Being consistent. They're the 2 things I've got in my head. It's one thing to empty my brain, but I'm also conscious of you can't just do a podcast. I'm just gonna do one every other month. Do you know what I mean? I want to do it frequently, so you got some consistency and got a bit of a routine. But on the same token, I don't care if any of you fuckers listen. I don't give a fuck if any of you stupid. I don't mean that. I honestly.
We bleeping it out. And
no. I do. The thing is, I do.
I care.
When I'm saying I don't care, I love it.
I know.
I really enjoy it when people message and say, check the podcast.
That's one of the main things.
And people, I love it when people have been sending photos of them watching it and people saying they love that and like it. That is a really, really, really dope thing, and that's like a cherry on top for me because I love that, but. I just mean my sole purpose for doing it. I don't care about numbers.
Yeah, but like I said to you, I sent you a couple of pictures of the feedback I was getting. Like, we've not got a lot of followers, like I said, and like you said as well.
All 3 people watching. I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, thank you. One of them's my mum.
One of them's my mum, so we got one other person.
Bless her. But it's like from our last episodes in particular, I don't know what it was, but we got like a lot more feedback than usual. And like I was uploading some stuff, and I felt like some of it felt corny or looked corny almost because I was like, genuinely means so much or it means a lot, but it genuinely does, man. Like something as simple as people be like I had one person was like, I listen to this, I actually love it. It's like when I'm working from home or when I'm at home, it's really helping me get through whatnot. And like someone was like, oh yeah, my mum loves your stuff, and like simple things like that is kind of like we're doing this because we enjoy it, and to think from us just simply speaking, 2 guys speaking. Like there's people enjoying that shit enough to show their mum. Do you know what I mean?
Do you know, like and this is what we'll end on, like because otherwise we'll carry on waffling for ages. But the thing that I think's the most dope about this whole thing is that it's no homo, but it's brought us closer because. I'm gonna put it out there, man. I put it out there. No, because it's true. Because the thing is, because
go on.
Yeah, like because
the Magnum got him.
Nah, it's true though because we were like when we worked together. We spoke about the first episode when we did together. We were close. We got along, but then. Nah, it's sick.
I'm not laughing at that, bro. We all gonna keep going.
It's sick because the thing is, I said this to someone the other day. I was chatting, and they were like, "Oh, fucking Brad's cool. Like, I love the podcast." And I was like, "Yeah, it's sick." I was like, the funny thing is, I was like, me and Brad had probably seen each other once or twice in the past 3 years prior to doing the podcast. We started the podcast, and now I see him every week.
Yeah,
like without fail, for the past 5 months, I've seen you once a week. I've seen you more than majority of my family. I've seen you more than probably all of my friends. I've seen you more than anyone else, and that's only because of the podcast, which I think is a cool thing. I'm like, because it's obviously like people have seen like obviously us chatting shit on here, but it's cool, man. I've got a lot of time for that because that's what I'm saying. It's a cool thing. It's a cool thing. Like. I don't see many other people as much as I see you.
Yeah, and it's genuine as well. Cool. It's like off camera, like I don't really like you, but I mean we get on camera.
Yeah,
so
all right, okay, cool. You're angry. I've got a 6-pack and big arms. Like, all right, get it.
No, it's love, bro. Like I said to you, I was trying to.
I love you, man.
No, like
I said that was the end, and you're like, no, let me just.
Well, you can't say something soppy, and I say it's not reciprocated.
I don't want to hear it, Brad.
So,
I do not want to hear it.
So basically. Ben used literally like, I'm not a selfish lover. I just want to say I love you, and I don't expect anything back.
I don't want to.
That is the end of it.
I don't want to get into this thing of us tugging each other off. I was just saying that for me is a sicker thing than having a big following.
I bought you flowers, not because I wanted flowers back. Okay, just accept the flowers. I don't want anything. I was
just saying. Rather than having 10,000 people following, I'm happy. That
just having my attention.
Nah, just our friendship's been built, and that's dope, and it was something that 100%. We've always got along, and it's a cool thing. And if that 100%. Makes me fucking gay, then I love you. All right, I don't mind. If that makes me gay, I don't want to be straight. Do you understand?
Your poo thing seems okay.
Yeah. No, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it's fine, but that's how I feel about it. Let's go into song of the week. I didn't actually take your. Normally, I get it down before we. Do you want to?
Oh, God. I'm going first, am I?
Yeah. You come first.
Wait, no, fuck that. No, I'm not laughing at that. I made a joke earlier and you absolutely pied it, and now I'm laughing at your shit
What joke did you make?
About the finger on the head, and I was like...
What, is that... No, that was the dead... Just watch your song of the week.
Nah, man. Bro, that was alright. It just didn't land.
What, you said there was a finger on someone's head, and you said... That's a different meaning between.
No. I said, oh, someone had a finger in your head. No, listen. I said, bro, I said someone had a finger in the head. That gives a whole new meaning to giving a girl a head. You not getting it, like the finger and anyway, it's getting a bit. It's going left.
Right.
But
what even is your song of the?
My song of the week. I posted something.
I don't want to hear your fucking.
What, am I not allowed to explain what song of the week is now?
This started back in 2003.
What is this how song of the week's going now? We just shout it out.
No.
Song of the week?
Do you know? I've given you a compliment. One thing you do is you give like a 20-minute introduction to your song, but the worst part is by the time you get there, you're like, I don't know much about the artist. I don't know what this song. I don't know what he's done. But you'll be like, I was on Spotify. I was listening to a playlist.
Bro.
I heard a song. I enjoyed it. I heard it in my car. I posted it on my social media. I can't remember the guy's name.
You're fucked for that. That's not right.
Come on, man. I'm joking. Come on.
You done?
Yeah.
Scumbag. So I found that.
I heard it.
I discovered
There's a lot of pressure on this.
I was watching David Attenborough and I was on YouTube and I heard us in the background. I don't know how, I don't know why. But basically, it caught my attention. And I actually was on Spotify. And there was an artist by the name of Future Utopia. And I uploaded on my Insta recently. And it was like a snippet of like an intro from Idris Elba. And it was talking about fear and whatnot. But there's a lot of random different snippets on this Future Utopia. Loads of different genres. And it's just very different, to be honest. Like, the whole album's sick. Like
Koji Radical on it. I'm looking at it now.
Yeah, bro, it's sick. It's a lot. It's just completely different. Like, I just think it's very intelligent what that guy's done. Like, obviously he had a plan and he knew exactly what he was doing.
Mate, it's got loads of fucking sick features.
Yeah, bro. Don't say my song of the week now. But yeah,
is Es Devlin?
Bro, Es Devlin. No, it's not. That's one thing that I thought as well. Because I kept saying Devlin. I was like, Devlin's not featuring on this. Why do they keep saying Devlin? But it seems appropriate as well with what we've been discussing. Funnily enough, it wasn't planned, but the song of the week is by Future Utopia featuring Dave, and it's called "Children of the Internet." So please listen to the lyrics.
It's got Es Devlin on there.
Yeah, Es Devlin. Yeah, not Devlin, Es Devlin. But yeah, it's brilliant, man. When I sent it to you on WhatsApp, I know when I send you song suggestions nowadays, you're like, I'm a videographer. I've heard every piece of music.
Okay, so this is Future
Don't
Utopia.
Don't send me your suggestions.
Future Utopia.
You pagan.
Featuring Dave and Es Devlin. It's called Children of the Internet.
Look, I grew up in a good but a changing age. My wife and kids, Damon Wayne's. When the youth club was everybody's favourite place, where if you spoke to a girl then it was face to face. Bro, I've seen the heart of a hood turn trendy. Kids lose interest, parks turn empty. Social media's got us all less friendly. Now can't you see the irony? She's got game when she types to me, but nothing in person, that ain't the type for me. Asking can we go for dinner yet in the flesh. No conversation, no intellect. The future generation or the children of the internet. Look, it's all changing, I'm seeing it now. You can meet 100 people without leaving your house. Putting pictures in the frames and memory in the clouds. You know everybody keeps their memories in the cloud. We finally found a voice and we ain't speaking as loud. People only wanna listen to the sheep in the crowd. And any other statement gets you cancelled by an activist that's never helped the cause that they're tweeting about. Do you blame public figures and personalities for giving little kids a warped view of reality? Or blame all of the apps that make a killing and finding a sweet spot in your self-hate and vanity? Could you argue that it's borderline dangerous to take a picture of a girl's face and start changing it in one quick filter? Your nose looks thinner, your eyes look fuller, your lips look bigger, your software's better in, your phone knows everything. If anything, it's getting George Orwellian. Yeah. Look, it's all connected. Nobody's protected from business collectives. Your info's collected. Children of the internet. Your info collected.
As a species, we now have to redefine what it means to be connected.
Children of the internet.
A recent study showed that the average person earnestly swipes, taps, pinches their phone 1 million times a year.
Your info collected.
People feel naked, inadequate, and utterly vulnerable without their phone. It's a primary conduit of personal, social, and work life.
Children of the internet.
There are more active cell phones on the planet than people. The mobile phone is both a connection and disconnection device. It is typically placed between the human and its surroundings, tuning the surroundings out.
Do you know, I thoroughly enjoyed that.
He's fucking incredible.
I think that's yeah.
He's like, Dave is incredible, but like that guy the art he's managed to collate into an album, it's so good. It's so good.
I really like that. I'm gonna check that because again, I'd seen you post about it. I was joking before as we hit play. I thought it was actual Future, like American Future.
Yeah,
I thought it was just like him just being quirky. Yeah, no, sick. All right, man. Well, before we get into it, I'll say thank you for watching episode always, 20, man. Big 2-0 in the Big 2-0.
What do you think we call this one? The Waffle House. It felt like that, innit? I think
I'm gonna call it Apu.
No, is that what we're calling it? Yeah.
Yeah, and the picture's gonna
welcome
be
to the Quickie Mart. Yeah.
No, not welcome to the.
I think Waffle House, innit?
Who needs the Quickie Mart? Now here's the tricky part.
Is that your song of the week?
Yeah. Okay. So hitting us off with Quickie Mart is Apu. Now,
what's his surname? Pasapina or something?
Yeah, something. I don't know. Fucking who knows? Yeah, thank you for watching. If you made this far,
thank you as always.
Appreciate it. Here's to another 20 episodes.
Feedback is always appreciated, man.
Yeah.
Up we go.
Yeah.
Well, is that funny?
Up we go.
On we go. Up and up.
Up we go.
Up we go.
Up we go. All right. This is my song of the week. Is again, it's some spoken word, but it's something I wanted to post for the past few share for the past few weeks.
Why are you doing Stomp the Yard?
Boom, 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 boom. It's spoken word.
You love the spoken word.
No, I'm a big fan of spoken word, but this one's is very deep. I say it's very deep. It's just an interesting perspective. It's called "Pick Your Poison." Pick Your Poison by a guy called Nego. I think I pronounced that right. It's either Nego or Nego. I don't know which one. Apologies, I don't know how the fuck.
Is it UK, US?
UK, yeah, UK. He's got stuff out, but there's a lot of stuff like on YouTube, but he hasn't got like it doesn't look like he's got like a body of work, which I'm like, go to this.
Yeah.
But this for me is my favourite.
How'd you come across him?
Again, mate, I don't know. It's like, when you're in the vortex of fucking YouTube and stuff. At least I stumbled across this like probably about a year ago. And I still listen to it. Like I wouldn't say a week goes by without listening to it. It's just very the reason why I like it so much, without going, you'll listen to it for yourself, but the reason why I like it is that it's called Pick Your Poison, and the whole concept of it is that there's always a different perspective. You always think that you're in the right, but it's like, so one of the elements of the song is that a rapist will say at least he hasn't killed someone, a murderer will say at least he hasn't raped someone. They're both wrong, but you pick your poison. So it's that whole concept of the song is all about like, there's things that he's done wrong and things done right. So yeah, that's it's called Pick Your Poison, as I said, by Nego, and I will see you next week.
Love, man. Thank you.
Love.
I want to ask you what's worse. Pastor that's always lived there with his son but never been there for his son, or a prisoner who's never lived there with his son but always been there for his son. I want to ask you what's worse. A single mother that spends 40 hours a week trying to feed her son but never really gets to see her son, or a single mother that spends 40 hours a week trying to see her son but never really gets to feed her son. I'm trying to ask you what's worse, because the one thing I've learned is life is all about sacrifice. Sometimes you have to put something beautiful last to make something beautiful last. You have to pick your poison. Would you rather give an alcoholic cocaine or a drug addict Hennessy? I'm trying to ask you what's worse, because there's a dangerous thin line between what's right and what can be justified in your mind. Let me explain. You walk into a jail cell, a murderer might tell you at least he hasn't raped anyone, and a rapist might tell you at least he hasn't murdered anyone. They know they're both wrong. They're just trying to figure out what's worse. They're trying to get you to pick their poison. Because how do you judge what's right from wrong? Is it based on your religion as it stands, your moral high ground as a man, the way you were raised by your family, the law of the land? I'm trying to ask you what's worse. I'll tell you my problem, huh? Always say a prayer the night before court. Never said a prayer the night before I got caught. So I want to ask God what's worse. The man that's only ever said a prayer for the purpose of forgiveness, or a man that never said a prayer but he never did the crime to begin with? The rapper that you say is leading everyone to hell, versus the fact that you're a believer that rebels. The man that won't help his dying mother because he thinks God will, or the man that won't help his dying mother because he thinks it's God's will. No, the man that won't help himself because he thinks God will, or the man that won't help himself because he thinks it's God's will. I'm trying to ask you what's worse. Pick your poison. Is it love or lust, truth or happiness, peace or justice? Let me explain. I'm not seeking success or even love yet, but when you lose your friend to some needless dumb kid, you're left with one question: what comes first, peace or justice? Because when the justice doesn't come, you feel the need to take it into your own hands. And when the peace doesn't come, you think it's because the justice hasn't come yet. So when you do everything in your power to leave the person responsible either in jail or dead, and you realize it doesn't bring back your friend, you realize you lost peace trying to chase justice, but you do nothing and you lose justice trying to chase peace. I'm trying to ask you what's worse. Ladies, do you make love trying to find it? Girls, you know when you got your ex, right? And you see him with a new girl. She ain't even nice on the eyesight. Your friend rings you up and says she ain't even a 5, right? She ain't even got the right size. She ain't even his type. And your friend tells you he downgraded. Well, basically, I want to tell you, if your basis for the fact that he downgraded is the fact that her looks are basic, I'm trying to tell you that he's not the one that downgraded. You picked your poison. I let my mom down trying to save her. Raised in the church building by atheists. Dad was more concerned with showing face than he was of showing faith. I lost my friend young. Police got there too late to save him from the cemetery. So when I saw my friend get rushed, I knew I had to jump in. Cause if I ring 999, they ain't getting to me. Says ride, or he's getting buried. Fight, or he's in the cemetery. I learned there's a difference between what's right and what's necessary. I had to pick my poison. So next time, before you ask what's worse, you gotta understand there's a difference between what's right and what's righteous. Cause what's wrong isn't always what's bad. And instead of asking what's worse, ask what we can do for each other. Cause the more we ask what's worse is the more we justify. The next time, judge a man's intentions before his actions, his reasons before his mistakes. I'll be the first to tell you I'm a hypocrite. Sometimes I tell lies. I picked mine. What's your poison?